New media has done a lot of good for the NFL. It's helped reach new viewers who previously had no exposure to the sport and has begun to spread the popularity of the National Football League worldwide. While new media has created some new fans, it may also be simultaneously destroying the NFL. Ratings were down for the first time in over 4 years. The 2016 NFL season had some of the lowest ratings in the past decade. One Google search will lead you to pages and pages full of articles providing reasons for that decline. Many of these lists include reasons such as competition from the election and World Series, too many commercials and penalties slowing down the game, and backlash from national anthem protests, concussions, and domestic violence cases. The most logical argument, though, is found on fewer lists. That is that more and more viewers are cutting the cord and watching using new media. During an interview on The Dan Patrick Show, Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban explained his comments on the NFL ratings decline.
2.5 years ago, conversation with reporters when you said pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered, and they're getting hoggy talking about the NFL. The ratings are down now for the first month of the season, and I guess we can attribute that to a couple things, including the presidential debates. But
Sure.
Is this a trend, or do you think it's just sort of an aberration right now?
No, it's a trend, and I think it's going to be a challenge for a lot of sports. And I'll tell you that I'll base my observation on my experience with my 7-year-old son and his friends. I can't get him off his laptop from watching YouTube Minecraft videos, but I can't stop him from watching those, but I can't even force him to watch anything but basketball. And I've gotten him to love basketball now, so obviously it's a little bit different in my family. But even with his friends, getting them to watch sports is like pulling teeth. It just doesn't happen. And so those days of, watching TV with your dad, girl or guy for that matter, boy or girl for that matter, it's just not the same anymore. Like my son plays baseball, soccer, football, all the basketball, all the sports available to him, and he loves playing, but he doesn't know the rules. He won't watch an inning of baseball. I mean, he won't even go to a game. I have to drag him to go to a baseball game. And so I think that's an intrinsic problem that all sports, but particularly, contact sports, are going to have, and that baseball's had for a few years. And I think that's just now starting to translate with the ratings, and it's something we all have to combat. It's hard to get younger kids these days because there's always a screen in front of them.
I believe these issues stem back to September 13th, 2009, when the National Football League unveiled their new channel, NFL Red Zone. Red Zone's slogan was every touchdown from every game. Red Zone eliminated all of the boring parts of football, as you only watched teams going in to score, and there were no commercial breaks. As Marshall McLuhan stated, the medium is the message, and with this new medium, we became more highlight-focused than ever before. Around the same time, fantasy football started to gain popularity, and as of today, is a billion-dollar industry. In my opinion, fantasy football has the single largest negative impact on the NFL. It shifts the focus onto individual players rather than teams. With real money on the line, people would rather watch highlights than a full game. While fantasy football may attract a younger audience, it further shortens our attention spans and promotes highlight culture. Fantasy football again changes how we watch the sport. Not only can we open our app and see how our players are doing, but we can get a live play-by-play update on every single game at our fingertips. As Sherry Turkle described, this creates a Goldilocks effect where we can choose how much or how little we want to engage. We no longer have to stay at home and watch a 3-hour game. Instead, we can go anywhere and watch on our phones. Unfortunately for the NFL, the Nielsen ratings don't include the new media audience. In an interview with For the Win, Miles Teller describes how fantasy football overload is ruining the NFL season.
I do play fantasy football. I'm in 3 leagues this year, and it's too much. I'm going to narrow it down, but I'm in a celebrity league with Matthew Berry that I'm in first place in. I think I'm beating Zac Efron right now, so take it, Zach. I'm in another league with all my buddies from Florida that we've been in for 9 years, and then I'm in another league with a bunch of, actors and stuff. It's too much. It's taking the joy out of it. I just want to root for the Eagles.
While it is my opinion that new media is hurting the NFL, things may be beginning to change. The NFL has decided to team with new media and has announced a streaming partnership with Twitter for Thursday Night Football. Fantasy football certainly is changing how we watch the game, but as long as the NFL continues to adapt, it will continue growing in popularity and avoid extinction.